So, I started playing Nu Carnival. But, what is it? That's the exact question I asked myself when I saw it every single time I opened up YouTube to watch a video. The music video ad haunted me so much that I refused to download the app despite liking the character designs at first glance. Mostly. So, I avoided it like the plague. Girl, that video was everywhere. Every single time I wanted to watch a video, that was there. But if I avoided it like the plague, how did I get to start playing it? It's a funny story. You see, I had no idea what Nu Carnival was. I thought it was similar to Ensemble Stars. For some reason. I don't even know how I got to that conclusion. But when me and my twin sister were trying to find a cringe game on the App Store to play, giggle at, and delete after an hour, Nu Carnival popped up under Otome games. I hadn't got the music video ad in a while, so I told my twin to download. Oh boy, were we not disappointed. The premise is just extremely hilarious. They really just throw you into a story where an Adam and Eve employee gets isekai'd into Yaoi heaven. And it is gold. The first thing I noted about Nu Carnival was how relatable Eiden was. Like, yeah, he's a pervert. But he's just like me for real. Most anime make perverted characters creepy and heavily over-sexual, but they somehow curb-stomped that expectation with Eiden. I don't know how they managed to do that in a game this sexual in nature. But I also enjoyed the reasoning behind the game being sexual, rather than just gunner slop thrown in your face. I didn't know the game had lore. But despite this, I had mixed feelings on the first two characters that you meet in the story. Aster and Morvay. Aster is a cute, boyish vampire. My apprehension towards him was because he looks like a child. And I'm a grown man. I am 22 years old. That wasn't it for me. Morvay, on the other hand, is a buff, handsome, and tanned incubus. I preferred Morvay right away, but based on the loading screen, I had picked blue hair dude and purple hair dude as my faves. So I was just waiting on them to show up. After passing chapter 1, the story gets good. Freakishly good. Like, why is this considered yaoi slop good? I realised two things at that point. One was that I had heavily misunderstood and judged this game far too harshly. And two, that I was going to become absolutely obsessed. The storyline was interesting and intriguing, and you had to work for the sex scenes, so it wasn't like the game was exclusively made for them. And the characters were all unique and not helpless twinks like I feared. In fact, Nu Carnival subverts expectations a lot with how the characters function, and I really enjoy that. It felt like chapter 1 / the prologue was the tester to see if you could handle the game at its most insane, and therefore can get into the meat of the game afterwards. It got so bad that I made an OC / self-insert for the game. Although calling it a self-insert is a bit narcissistic, since he's 6'4" with long white hair, and I'm 5'6" at a push with short blonde hair. You know what, it's my self-insert, and therefore it is my rules. Okay, you can't tell me what to do. The game got me involved in animation memes of all things. Something I've been meaning to do for a decade, and just never committed to. Like, I had always wanted to make them, but I always considered them too complicated, but somehow this game has just completely cured that. I don't know how it managed it. Moreover, the character art is fucking gorgeous. This is the first gacha game I've played where I've wanted to collect all of the cards. Although due to the rerun system, this isn't possible, unfortunately. Something that I would later find would bother me extremely. You see, Nu Carnival has 4 rarity types. Normal, rare, super rare, and super rare. At least I think that's what SSR stands for. The characters tend to get around 6 to 12 SSRs. Some characters only have 4 to 5, but that's because they were introduced a bit later than the other characters. However, 2 characters only have 1 singular SSR card. Guess who? Aster and Morvay. The first 2 characters you meet. And they get nothing. This also applies to merchandise as well. The familiars, as they're called, because they were Huey's familiars that he made as companions for himself way back in the olden days. Look, it's a lore thing. It's a lore thing, you have to read the lore. But they're often excluded from merchandise launches, and it's hard to find merchandise from them at all. But you're probably thinking, June, if you felt neutral in Aster and Morvay, why do you care if they don't get merchandise or SSR cards? Yume Morvay. Listen, okay? Before you call me cringe or too old, just hear me out, okay? I don't know how this happened. Oshikatsu isn't new to me at all, but yumeshipping always seemed a little too far even for me, so I didn't participate. However, as I played the game more and more and progressed through the story, Morvay sunk his claws into me. He's so fucking funny. Chapter 5 was when I realised that he was my favourite, and it just got worse from there. I want Morvay everything. I could have stopped that sentence after the first 3 words. But I want to have physical Morvay merchandise that isn't just a ticket or a lenticular or a standee, but he barely gets any plushies, and the ones he does get are hard to find because they were released several years ago. It sucks. And this is why I said that the whole rerun thing would bother me later on, because he's only ever gotten 1 SSR card. It was released 2 years ago, it was rerun a year ago, and I don't think it's ever going to rerun again. So I'm never going to get Morvay's 1 SSR card, and it doesn't seem like there's any plans for an SSR card for the familiars anytime in the future. I will say though, he did cure my art block. I just love his design and personality so much, and good god, his birthday art for this year. I'm ashamed to admit that I spent real life money to get his birthday pack. Don't regret it one bit though. I am upset that he is treated like a gag character though, no pun intended, because he really is such an interesting character when he's not reduced to his incubus nature. Like how he watches over the gemstone altars, how he's heavily skilled with intelligence gathering, and essentially lives like a corporate office worker with the work that Aster gives him. Morvay currently has merchandise in the Neon Rush pop-up, and he's included in the Don Quixote Idol collab, so I can't complain too much, but hey, maybe he'll get that SSR one day. While I mentioned Quia and Edmund being my favourites from the first glance, Morvay, Edmund and Blade ended up being my favourites as I progressed through the story. I found myself checking in every single day to do my dailies, had progressed to level 35 within 12 days, and ultimately loved the game a lot. It also means a lot to me that they acknowledge gay men as part of their fan base. It makes me really happy, because a lot of these games that focus on a male main character and the options for the romance, or whatever you want to call this, are also male. 9 times out of 10, they only acknowledge the straight female fan base that they've accrued, and oftentimes, more often than not, they completely ignore the gay men that also play their game. So to find that the game actually supports and acknowledges us as part of the fan base makes me like the game so much more. It seems like such a small thing, but it really does mean a lot. If you watched this video all the way to the end, thank you so much for listening to this little ramble about my new favourite game. And I'll see you in the next video. Side note, I didn't realise that my avatar matches Morvay. Meant to be, it's meant to be.